Hi, Paul here from Trekitt. We're out underneath the beautiful Langatic escarpment overlooking the Usk Valley and the beautiful Black Mountains. It's absolutely stunning up here today, if not a little brisk and a little cold. It's a crisp autumnal day. I'm guessing the temperature's probably around 8 or 9 with a bit of wind chill. So yeah, a pretty good day to come up and talk to you about this Montane ground control jacket. So what is the Montane ground control jacket? Well, it's a synthetically insulated jacket that is highly wind and water resistant, that features an incredibly technologically advanced filling that provides incredible thermal performance with minimal weight, and it blends two types of filling to give you optimum performance. We'll go into that in detail later. But it's just the perfect kind of jacket for UK cold, wet, miserable mountaineering activities where you need super reliable performance in all conditions. So what's the ground control jacket made from? So on the outside, this lovely kind of dark bluey, inky blue colour that you can see here, this is Montane's Barrier Light RS fabric. And I know that because it says it there. I just cribbed that off my sleeve. But Barrier Light RS fabric is a tightly woven mini ripstop fabric, so it's tough, made from a nylon, so it's durable. And it also has a good DWR, a durable water repellent treatment on the outside that makes the water bead up and run off. And you combine that with the incredible wet weather performance of the insulation, and you've got a highly weather resistant jacket. Not waterproof, but highly weather resistant. And then on the inside of the jacket is the amazing insulation. And this is made from a company called Primaloft, and they've been making synthetic insulation for years and years and years. They only make the good stuff. And what you get inside here is 180 grams of Primaloft silver thermoplume cross-core insulation. Well, that took a bit of remembering and it's a bit of a mouthful, so give me a minute and I'll just reassess that and I'll break it down for you. So let's break that mouthful of insulation down. So 180 grams, that is the weight of the filling per square metre, quite simply 180 grams. So this kind of squarely puts this jacket into kind of the mid-weight insulation kind of category. Primaloft, as I said, a company with a great reputation for making the highest quality insulations. Excuse me, the dogs are running away. Okay, so Primaloft, then you've got silver, and that's a category within Primaloft's insulation ranges, and it just means that it's a very robust and very weather resistant filling. Thermoplume, this is where the magic happens. Thermoplume is a new insulation from Primaloft, and instead of using a traditional kind of sheet or wadding of insulation, the little synthetic fibres and filaments have been manufactured to mimic the natural clusters of down. And when you put this on, when I put this on this morning, I had to double check that I got the right jacket, because it does feel like down. Even if you pinch it between your fingers and roll it around, it actually feels like really good quality down. And Montane quote this as having the same kind of fill power as a 600 fill down jacket. So again, you know, great insulation, maintains its loft, traps all that air amongst those little clusters of down, and it's blown into the baffles much in the same way that down is. So it is truly a synthetic down material. The other technology that's going on here is the cross-core technology. He hasn't run away yet, he's fine. So cross-core technology, this is really, really clever space age stuff. It uses a material called aerogel. And aerogel was developed by NASA back in the 1960s as kind of a super insulative material that is incredibly lightweight. And it's basically made by removing the moisture from a gel without destroying the inherent structure of the gel. So you end up with kind of like this almost smoke-like structure that has got full of air pockets that add a significant amount to the thermal insulative properties of the material, but adding hardly any weight whatsoever. And also, because it increases the amount of air pockets within inside the filling, it does mean that the filling will maintain its thermal capacity even when it's wet. I think it only reduces by about 10%. So you get sort of 90% plus efficiency even from a soaking wet filling. It's incredible stuff, and I think Montane have done a great job with Primaloft to combine that into that insulation to give you just a brilliantly warm jacket. So as well as that amazing thermoplume cross-core aerogel space age technological amazing filling in the main body, you may notice that there are areas of the jacket that don't have these little baffles, and they look like a traditional kind of insulative synthetic jacket, and that's because you'd be right, these areas use my Primaloft silver insulation in traditional kind of sheet wadding form, and that is there to just resist compression more because it's a denser, more kind of rigid fabric, if you like. So around the hips and the shoulders where you get lots of compression from rucksacks and harnesses, etc., that will resist it better there. And around the cuffs where you get more wear and tear, it's a more durable insulation. And also, because it is a denser material, it will resist moisture ingress better. So again, the shoulders and top of the hood, etc., you're going to resist that moisture content. So this jacket really does combine the best of those two types of insulation. You've got that thermoplume down-like soft luxurious insulation over the back and the core of the body and down the arms. Then you've got that super tough, you know, hard to compress filling around the wrists, around the lower jacket and across the shoulders. So a very good combination of two different types of fabrics to give you optimum performance. And then just to finish off the construction, on the inside you've got Montane's own Peak super light fabric. It's designed for use with down, and it's to enable down to loft properly but also allow great breathability through the fabric, and it feels comfortable next to the skin and glides over layers easily. So it feels fantastic actually. It's a lovely jacket to wear. It just feels really comfortable, lightweight and warm. Okay, so what are the features? Well, because this jacket is a slightly, is in the midweight insulation, and it's envisaged that you're going to be wearing this more as an outer and for kind of a more extreme weather conditions, it does come with a slightly increased feature set. You get a really good, fully insulated hood that's got a stiffened peak with a wire in it, so thank goodness, you know, a proper hood on an insulated jacket. It's got draw cords down at the side and a volume reducer at the back, and it will fit over a helmet if you're sat on a belay in really horrible conditions. So a really good proper hood. Then you've got a two-way YKK Vislon zip down the front here in fetching orange on this particular jacket. So you can undo from the bottom if you need to get to your harness, answer the call of nature. And there's a handy little popper down the bottom as well, and that does mean that if you've got the popper done up, you can kind of ventilate the jacket just by leaving the zipper pullers in the middle, get loads of air around without kind of exposing your whole body to the elements. So a nice little feature, that popper down the bottom. So on the back of the hood volume adjuster, you'll see this little plastic thing. Not only does it help you pull the cord tight, but it's got a little clip on it, which means that you can roll the hood down like so, and then clip the hook there onto this little elasticated loop on the inside of the jacket, and that just keeps the hood rolled down nicely like a collar. Storage wise, you get two zipped hand warmer pockets, and as the name implies, they are nice and big enough for your hands. Nice and warm in there as well, it's really nice. And they're big enough, you can get a pair of gloves in there, you know, lightweight beanie or something like that. They're not massive, but you know, they're perfectly big enough to get your hands in, keep them out of the wet and the cold. The hand pockets are also just pitched slightly higher, so that if you've got a rucksack hip belt on, like I have here, you can still get into the pocket, keep your hands nice and warm. And then up on the chest, you've got a little zip pocket here, big enough to take, you know, like maybe a little rock facts guide, your mobile phone, GPS, that kind of thing, keep it up out of the way. So, and then down at the cuffs at the end here, these use a soft binding, kind of lycra type elasticated binding. And what they've done is a really nice thing to do is they've tucked the lycra slightly inside the cuff. So what that does is it forces the insulation out over your wrist, so it keeps that sensitive area of your body nice and warm. If you keep your wrists warm, you're generally going to feel warmer anyway. So yeah, neat little feature, but we'll do some close-ups so you can see what's going on there. And then down the bottom, you've got a dual pull hem draw cord, just to, you know, keep it in, pull the whole bottom of the jacket in close around you, seal out the cold, keep in the warm. So, you know, enough features there to make this a kind of a versatile and useful jacket for all kinds of mountain activities. So how does the Montane ground control jacket fit? Well, if you're familiar with our videos, you will know that I am 6'3", 42-inch chest, 34-inch waist, and I weigh about 13.5 stone. And this is a size large, and I'd say the fit is absolutely bang on. It's not overly big. It's designed to fit close to the body so that it maximises your insulation. What you don't want is a lot of air inside the jacket that you've got to warm up first before getting to the insulation. So you want a fairly close fit. To give you some idea, I have got a lightweight base layer tee and a very lightweight ME grid fleece on under here. So this is kind of the sort of thing that you would wear primarily as an outer jacket. If you wanted to wear more layers underneath, you might have to size up a little bit, but for me, the large is perfect. The sleeves are long enough, the body is nice and long. Do a little twirl, comes down over my bum. Good length, but without being so long that it's going to hang out the bottom of my waterproof jacket should I be wearing one. So yeah, really neat fit. For me, this is a size large. Where does it fit in the layering system? Well, the ground control jacket, because of the fantastic wet weather performance of the outer fabric and the insulation, its primary function really is as an outer. So yeah, on cold, damp, windy, miserable UK winter mountaineering, walking, it's the perfect outer to keep you warm and comfortable. There's no reason why you couldn't wear this as a mid layer, but you know, believe me, it would have to be really, really cold to warrant sticking other stuff over the top. But it will work as a mid layer because of the fantastic breathability of this thermoplume insulation and the fabrics that Montane have used. So it makes it massively versatile. Also works well as an overlayer. You know, if you're walking with just kind of like a lightweight fleece and a shell, you stop for lunch, maybe sat at a belay for a bit longer than anticipated, whip this out your pack, throw it over the top of everything. It's going to keep you warm and keep you protected in all but the worst of the conditions. Okay, to summarise the lovely Montane ground control jacket, it's a mid-weight insulative synthetic filled jacket that uses a clever mix of hybrid synthetic insulation to provide maximum warmth with minimum weight. It really is a pleasure to wear. It feels light. It feels like you know, a natural down-filled product, but you've got all the advantages of the synthetic, you know, and the fact that it's still going to keep you warm when it gets wet. It's easy to care for, and it's just a really good, high-performance, warm, windproof, highly water-resistant jacket for use in UK damp, cold mountain conditions. Okay, so if you want some more advice on how to fit an insulative jacket, how they work best, Harry will put a link up to one of our videos. If you want to fill your boots on all the technical information on the ground control jacket, Harry will put a link up for that as well. And if you like our content, please hit the subscribe button, and any questions or comments are always welcome. Pop them in the section below. Thanks a lot. Toodaloo.